Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. On this channel, we cut through the hype and the noise, and we give you the non-biased information you can use to hopefully capitalize on the next bull run. And I often say, I don't tell you what you want to hear, but I tell you what you need to hear. And guys, you need to hear this. This video will make you and save you more money than you can imagine. You need to hear me out, because we're all playing a game that most people don't understand. And they may sound smart and they think they know what they're talking about, and they teach courses and all kinds of stuff. But guys, they really don't have a clue when it comes to what the smart money does and how the smart money thinks. And that's what this video is all about. So I'm going to share some information with you, and whether you are just a hodler or a long-term investor, whatever it is, or if you're a trader, you need to hear me out, and it will save you. This 10-minute video is going to save you an immense amount of money, and it's going to keep you from wrecking yourself. That being said, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get into it. Now guys, I used to work for Bear Stearns, and I wasn't a big player or anything like that, but I got to go behind the scenes and sit at the desk of some of the biggest traders in the world at that time, many years ago. But guys, I watched how they manipulate the markets, and it is not a fair fight. And not only that, they have so much money to push a market, to manipulate a market with, you really can't comprehend it unless you've seen it. So it doesn't really matter if you've been in the business for 10 or you've been trading for 10 or 20 years. You may not understand this, but it will make sense to you once you hear me say it. You'll be like, wow, that's why I get wrecked. But anyway, I want you to look at this chart, and this is no reflection. I just went and found a standard pattern, so this is no reflection on this website. But I want you to look at what's on the screen, and it basically says, this is a typical flag pattern. And as you see how they drew it, and when you see this lineup, boom, to the moon. So you're thinking right here, get ready to buy when it hits this line or it breaks this line, to the moon. Well, the smart money knows the basics. They know that every person that is new to trading, hasn't been around the block, doesn't work on Wall Street, understands this chart pattern. And they understand exactly what they're thinking, where they're going to put their stops, and how if they're wrong, you just push on them, and they're all lined up, guys. Like, here's everyone's stop. Everyone, all the dumb money. And I say that with love. But they know that you're thinking, if it goes through that line, it's a go. Jump in. So here's the deal, guys. They got pretty much unlimited money. They're going to take it through that line. And it may cost them, maybe they spend 10 million, 50 million. It's really irrelevant. They will spend whatever buying at that line to push it, to make everyone FOMO in, right? They may even push it up like this line that far, if it's like Shiba and Elon news. But either way, they're going to push it. And then, guys, once it gets right here and the FOMO gets in, and they get enough of the dumb money liquidity, and again, I say that with love, when that liquidity gets there, boom. Yeah, they pushed it with $5 million. Now they're going short with 10 or 20. And then they'll push it down in here. So they knocked out these guys. They knocked out these guys. They knocked out the long and the shorts. Then they go long and take it to the moon. So you were absolutely right on maybe doing your fundamental analysis and seeing the chart pattern, but you got stopped out. The short guys got stopped out, but the smart money took all that dumb money and put it in the bank. And it happens every single day, all day, every day, and it will only get worse once we get regulation. The big boys are going to come in here and take as much of your money as humanly possible. So you need to get a game plan and learn to not FOMO in and chase these projects. You want to get in before the FOMO starts, guys. And when the FOMO happens, guess what, guys? You sell and you become the smart money. Now let me prove this to you. Now, this is no reflection on XRP at all. I just knew this trade because I did it. I started stacking way back in here, and I sold up in here after the announcement. But I want to show you something. Hopefully you can see this. Look at these two green lines. That matches that exact setup, right? Look at that. So he's saying that thing should have went to the moon like it did here. Now this is a perfect example of the smart money, what they do to you. And you need to know this, guys. Watch it 100 times. Research it. Go to Gareth Soloway. He knows this stuff. He's smart as heck. But anyway, see this triangle. See how green that was? Well, it pumped and everyone FOMO'd in, and then boom, they slammed it all the way back down to here. Now, the problem with this, that wasn't the setup. See, this is the problem with technical analysis. When they draw these lines after the fact, that's not what it looked like setting up. This part wasn't here. I want to show you what I mean. See this, see this burgundy line, right? I could show you, hey, look at this perfect setup. And that would duplicate exactly what he said. But the problem is, when it was setting up, it was this line. Are you following me? So anyway, guys, now let me prove it to you again. Look at this. Now this was the announcement, then they dumped on everyone, which buy the rumor, sell the news. The smart money, guys, when you see something pumping, you're like, man, what caused Shiba? Or that's not a good example because, you know, Wall Street doesn't really mess around in those areas. But let's say Ethereum or any stock for that matter. Wall Street gets that news just like this spot ETF. Trust me, JP Morgan, like Jamie Dimon and Fink at BlackRock, they know exactly when that spot ETF is going to be announced and who's going to get announced. Every one of them. I guarantee you that. So they're going to start stacking whenever, whatever best serves them. So the same people here that bought and are smart enough to know, because they know the announcement is coming out, they're the same ones that dump here. Now look, they did it again. This is even a better setup. You get that huge announcement, then everyone's buying. This is the dumb money. And I say that with love. I sold the announcement, guys. That was my whole swing trade. I had coaching clients, which if you want to talk about coaching, we will at the end, that called me and said, hey, I just bought XRP. It's going to the moon. I'm like, what are you talking about? Right? The news is over. Now, but look at this setup again. Perfect triangle, just like in that illustration from before. And look at that. Small little green candle. Huge dump. Guys, the smart money manipulate the markets, and they always will, and you need to understand the setup. So what you see in a chart pattern is what they see. And they're like, okay, let's show them what they want and get them trapped in and then dump on them. That could be going on right now with the narrative of the spot ETF. If it announced tomorrow, I have no doubt Bitcoin would run to say 43. and then head back to at least 30, if not 20, because the smart money will be selling. Now, hear me out on this, guys, and this is another important point of thinking like a whale or thinking like the institutions. All right, when anything happens, right, like let's say Bitcoin, and I did this illustration a couple of days ago, so I'm doing it off memory. When 2 weeks ago, when we got that announcement for BlackRock, we got the fake one before, which I think same people started it, so they were probably buying back at like 25, 27. But the real news came out around 28, 29. And now we're at what, 38, 39. Well, guys, that's roughly like a 30% increase. Now, me and you don't even blink, right? 30% on our little bags is nothing. But add a couple of zeros. Add 5 zeros, guys. And that's why I know, or I don't know for sure, but the probabilities are, for instance, Bitcoin's going to come back and cover those wicks between 29 and like 37, because that's the smart money who bought down at the 29, and they're going to take their profits. Now hear me out on this, and it will make sense. If you, let's say you have $1,000 or $10,000 in Bitcoin, you're up what, on $10,000? You're up 30%. That's $3,000. That's pretty good, but not in crypto. But what if you had $1 million? What if you had 10 million? What if you had a 10 billion and you take 30%? Guys, that 30% move in 10 days to 2 weeks for the whales and for the institutional buyers, that's more than they're going to make on Wall Street trading stocks for the next 10 years. And if they make 30% like in even a year of trading every day, they're all world. They'll be famous. So you got to think about how they think, guys. Now, another thing you need to understand about the whales and the institutions is they rotate in and out of sectors. Now, hear me out, because this is important. And one of my friends told me this before I got into crypto, and I really didn't understand what he's saying. And if you'll notice, you'll see that this is 100% true. That if you look back at last year, right, January 1, nothing is going on. I had never even heard of AI as in crypto. That narrative came out. AI pumped to the moon. Everyone FOMO'd in. I didn't buy any AI this year. I've only bought one stock. I bought Bitcoin. I've stacked some stable coins, and I just bought Citus Hero, which, guys, that's a great video to watch. I'll leave a link down below or at the end. But they ran that narrative, and then it got into the layer 2 narrative, right? And then it's had different narratives. Like, you had the news about Gala. It had a lot of good news. It pumped and pumped and pumped. Then it died. And then we got all quiet. And then another sector. And in this bull run, Bitcoin took off. And guess what has been dead for 2 years? Gaming. And it's on fire. That's the smart money, guys. So what they do, they take those profits, let's just say from AI, and they park it, and they're like, all right, what's next? Well, let's see, what hasn't moved in a while? And you need to know this, guys, because when you think if your project's solid, like an H-bar or something like that, it's solid, it's going to have its day. Don't swap out of your 5-cent H-bar to go catch Solana at $50. Are you out of your mind? So what they do, and I say that with love, but what they do when it's all quiet, like Metaverse hasn't pumped at all in 2 years for the most part. It pumped last year. That was one of the last narratives to die. But they're going to rotate it around. So what they do, they spread a little rumor. Maybe there's a new partnership that's coming out. They get some news. So we're watching Twitter and YouTube, and we hear a little bit of news. Let's just say we're going to talk about the next narrative is the Metaverse. It hasn't really been doing anything. So we'll get some news where something happens. And we're like, wow, Wonder if that's bullish. Well, they throw their money behind, let's say, SAN token, and it takes off. So we're like, oh my God, that news is bullish. Here comes the Metaverse. The Metaverse is live again. And SAN does a 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x. Oh my God, I gotta get in the Metaverse. Well, then not only that, they're already stacking the other Metaverse because they know a lot of people are going to look at the Metaverse of SAN and go, man, I'm not buying a 4x. What hasn't moved? Because if it's moving, that means Metaverse is hot again. So maybe they go buy some other Metaverse play, right? Well, those guys are already in it. But anyway, the FOMO gets out, guys. They start feeding off their profits. You are their profits. And then guess what? It's all said and done. They made an immense amount of money. You're upside down 30, 40%. And we're still in a bear market, guys. Now, I'm not saying that's where we're at right now. But until these charts tell me different, I don't FOMO. I sell FOMO. And I want you guys to understand, I literally made this video purely for you guys because I know this stuff, but I want to share it with you. And believe me when I tell you, these videos get the least amount of subscribers and the least amount of people to watch because people don't really want to be educated. They want to be told what to buy, and they want you to lie to them. They want you to say, just buy this token and get a Lambo, right? Anyway, let me see what else I got. Well, that's kind of it, guys. I just want to talk about my coaching real quick. Look, if you don't have a plan and of how to take profits, how to compare projects to another when you want to buy, you're probably going to wreck yourself, guys. Hopefully you have sat down and built a portfolio with the plan. And when you put on a trade, no matter what project it is, it should have been compared to the top projects with the best probability, not the best hype, not the best BS, but the ones from top to bottom, from founder to adoption to developers to tokenomics. Where does it sit? And then you learn to compare that. And you get a game plan, and when you put on a trade, or whether it's to day trade or swing trade or hodl, just stick to the plan, guys. It can only go up, down, or sideways. Give you an example. What happens tomorrow if we have a black swan and you wake up and Bitcoin's pushing 25, heading to 20, and every one of your favorite projects are going down, getting wrecked, new lows? Guys, I'm going to catch a buzz that night, right? That's going to be the best day of 2023. I pray for days like that because I have a game plan and I have some dry powder. I'm going to jump in and I know exactly where I'm going, right? I have a whole list. I'm going straight to Quant and H-bar. Hopefully the ones on my list that get hit the hardest. Again, there's like 25 tokens. And if Quant gets hit harder than H-bar gets, that's the one I'm going to stack the most, but I would still stack them both. But let's say the opposite's true. What if we wake up in the morning and the spot ETF has been announced and Bitcoin's at $50,000? Why we slip? And believe me, that could happen. And your favorite altcoins pump a 7x literally in 3 days. You know what I would do? I would probably dump my entire bag. Why? Because that's part of my plan. Now, I don't plan to sell on a 7x, right? I'm going to dollar cost average out. But because it happened so fast and we're 5 months or so from the real bull run or the halving, which we're all expecting, hopefully that plays out. I know that pump is probably BS, just like this. That's only a 1x, guys, so imagine what a 7x looks like in 3 weeks. I'd take all my profit. And even if I'm wrong, so what? I just 5, 6, 7x my portfolio in 2 or 3 weeks. I'll be okay. We can start again, right? So the point is, guys, I do one-on-one coaching. It's only $250. You get 3 calls. I'm probably going to change that in the very near future, double the price, and shrink the conversations because it's almost go time. But I want to give you guys the best chance for success. It's not financial advice, but what we do is go through and take a look at your portfolio. We get you a game plan that matches your risk reward, and then we get you an understanding of how to compare these projects to another. And guys, we want to get you some rules that match your game plan and your risk tolerance and your goals, so that when anything happens, there's no FOMO, there's no FUD. You just chill out and you implement your plans. That being said, guys, whether you want to work with me or not, get a game plan, and please consider taking profits. Get a game plan, and do not put a target of any project, period. Start taking your profits along the way, because hear me out. And again, not ragging on XRP, but it's a perfect example. And a lot of my coaching customers, most of them came to me because of XRP. In the last bull run, with the hype and the crazy, oh, XRP to 1,000, 10,000, the same BS that we hear now. Well, imagine if you stacked, a lot of people stacked the majority of their portfolio into XRP. And they're thinking, okay, it's going to make a new high. $4, $5. I'll sell it $10. Guys, they didn't take any profits along the way, and it didn't even get close to making an all-time high. And when it pulled back, it's game over. Okay, that's been 4, 5, 6 years, guys, starting the 7th year before maybe it hits an all-time high and they get their money back. Now, I'm not ragging on XRP, but guys, you got to understand what could happen. Protect your downside and take your profits. If you don't take profits, guys, you'll become the profits. Anyway, guys, I 100% created this for you guys. I want everyone to do well. That's why I started this channel. I'll leave a link in the description, and I'll pin it, my email, in the comment section. If y'all want some information about coaching, reach out. But either way, guys, come back and be part of this community. Hit that like button, share with like-minded people. It helps out the channel, and I'm going to be here for you. All right, guys, let me know if you like this type video and you want more of them, and if it helped. Hopefully it did, because, guys, the whales and the institutions, you are their profit. This is peer-to-peer, mano to mano. And if someone pulls $1 million out of, say, Shiba, think about how many people lost in that $1 million. And that's why there's so much money in crypto, guys, because 90% of everyone watching this is not going to make money. Now, that doesn't mean your wallet will not swell. You may turn 1,000 into 80,000 or more. But taking it home and putting it in the bank, two different things, guys. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Take care, guys. Come back, be part of this community, and watch the videos at the end. Take care.